Ladies and gentlemen, it all comes down to this. Newbee versus Vici Gaming, game number 5 here in the grand finals of the Captain's Draft 4.0 Chinese qualifiers. We have every other team figured out either through invite or qualification except for China. The last team to make it through is one of these two squads, and it has been a heck of a series. Vici Gaming taking the middle 2 games, Newbee taking the first and the most recent game in a pretty handed fashion. In fact, all 4 games, pretty close stuff for the most part. Vici Gaming playing really well when they have the gyrocopter, but Newbee getting the split push going, having the taker in that last game. And we have a very interesting pool here to look at as we enter game number 5, folks. My name is Vaughn. With me is Base Kip. Cameron, how are you feeling about this last game and about this series in general?
I'm excited. I mean, we got this is the run back as well, right? Vici kind of brushed right past Newbee on their way to the grand finals, and then Newbee had a pretty nice series against LFY a little bit earlier in the lower bracket to be here. They've played a long day of Dota, and they were up against the ropes for a second there, being down 1-2. But yeah, this is an interesting hero pool for sure. Lots of really premium supports. The Pangolier and the Dark Willow both going to make it through into the pool, and it's actually Vici who will snatch away the puck from Newbee, so not going to get the opportunity to grab it this game. Yeah,
KP as well as SCCC have been playing the puck. We saw it, I think, in this series, and of course in the last series as well in Game 3 against, who was it? LFY, in a very interesting series there. So Newbee will play the full 8 games today, like you mentioned. They already played, they got 2-0'd by Vici last series, which was yesterday, and they will start things off rather interestingly with a Lion first overall pick for Newbee.
Yeah, so they get some nice lockdown. I think that's a big part of this particular hero pool as well, just having the solid lockdown against heroes like the Puck and the Storm. I think Lion is even super annoying for OD to play against, because as an OD, you don't always really want to buy BKB, but Lion as a support just by himself can force you into buying a BKB as that hero. So I like the Lion, good strong laning. I wonder if we're going to see an SCCC Alchemist this game. I think it could end up happening. I don't know what no other hero in this pool really jumps out to me other than the Storm Spirit, but I feel like Vici are probably going to get enough lockdown to maybe deal with the Storm. I guess it remains to be seen.
That would be quite interesting. Maybe like a 5th pick or something. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I also actually really like the Tiny. Again, Vici Gaming had that for Ori in the, 3rd game, yep. I think. And they crushed with it. Not necessarily just because of the Tiny, but Ori had a really great time. I wouldn't mind seeing him on that hero again. It depends, I guess, on what he's up against. They could always pick it also for Paparazzi, but they will take the Rubik instead, so that makes a lot of sense. Pretty good against the Chikiro, obviously. Not even that bad against the Lion. Yeah, so yeah, very good pick, I think.
I think part of Newbee's plan here as well is that so it's really interesting that the gyrocopter is left in the pool, right? And I feel as though Vici are looking at this and they're thinking, why are they willing to let us have this, especially with the Puck? There's a ton of synergy there with all of the AoE magical damage and the Veil, the lockdown with the coil for the call down. Newbee's answer, at least the way it looks right now, is that they just think they can burst the gyro, probably with the Finger of Death. But it will be that Tiny that you mentioned.
I think they could still get the gyrocopter too. That's the combination they had. They had Paparazzi for the gyro, the Tiny for Vici Gaming. So I think there's an idea here for Vici. I don't know. That Tiny looked really strong though. I mean, again, whether it was because of the Tiny, because of the hero, or whether it was because of Ori or just Vici in general knowing how to play around the Tiny, it felt very strong. It felt very difficult to deal with. He's actually got a little bit of everything when you think about it. He's got good wave clear with the tree grab. He's got good tower push with the toss. He's very tanky. He's got great initiation if he can get a blink dagger. But Newbee will head in a different direction. They will grab a Ricky for their 4-position roaming support. Well, potentially, but more than likely, yes.
That seems like it's going to be very annoying for the Tiny to deal with. He's got no armor. Ricky's going to be up in your face, right? Just checking out harassment, get you locked down in the smoke screen, which you can't really, your status resistance isn't really going to help you against. And Newbee, this is a very different take from them. Very aggressive.
This feels very fast-paced.
Super pushy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like Chikiro taking towers. They got the They got some minus armor with the Vengeful Spirit as well, potentially very powerful against the Tiny. Lots of lockdown, lots of disables. I think that's the biggest thing for me. I also like the potential to, with the Vengeful Spirit, now they can get, like, they can even swap the puck into like an instant hex or right into the smoke screen or right into an ice path. So I think it actually makes the puck quite difficult to play this game. Of course, when I'm talking about hex, I'm talking about like you have vision, you precast it, and then you swap him in line and just immediately cast it before puck even has time to react. But that's gonna make the game a little bit harder to play on the Vici side. So we'll just have to see how they respond.
We saw...
And they get some more AoE team fight.
Gyrocopter will provide that, and there's the pick, as we expected previously, the combination they had. Now what will they pick fifth? It's going to be the CM as their 5 position support. So we have seen a lot of Vengeful Spirit core, rather carry at Dota Pit. We saw it maybe pitch 3 or 4 times aggressively. A lot of the time it won. A lot of the time the pace was very quick. We saw one game in particular where Newbee were playing against it, I believe, Virtus Pro, and they were able to turn the game around. They were down 18,000 net worth. That was in the lower bracket last round of the BO1s. They were able to turn around an 18K deficit and win that game to get to the lower bracket finals to play up against Vici Gaming in that best of 3 series. So now they will have the advantage to work with. They will have their last pick, more than likely going to be their mid laner, as they already have 2 supports, the Jakiro on the offlane, the Vengeful Spirit core, more than likely. And what are they going to grab here, base kit?
Oh, it's tough. This is a big departure from the rest. I mean, it honestly could be the Alk, but there is quite a lot of burst on the Vici set. All of their heroes are decent Ags heroes, so if they feel like it's a good Alk game, then maybe that provides a little bit of motivation in that direction. The one thing that they don't have a whole lot of in their lineup is sustain. Unfortunately, I don't know if there's a great way to fix that issue, unless they want to pick like the Witch Doctor, but it just doesn't fit at all in terms of their roster. You know, you can kind of make the Jakiro a core. I don't know if you want to make both Jakiro and the Riki cores, so I guess we'll have to see.
Here's what it is. It's a
is it the Storm
Huskar.
Even Huskar?
No. Listen, I throw out these picks, and then when I'm right, I feel like a genius, but it's not actually going to happen.
I mean, like Vici, it's mostly magical damage.
It's true. That would be hype as hell. No, it's the Terrorblade.
It's Terrorblade,
which makes a lot of sense too. When you have this type of pushing lineup already with KP, you have now the SCCC Terrorblade. It's gonna be an 11 Tiny, and they're gonna have puck in the mid lane. So SCCC Terrorblade against the puck, more than likely, unless they switch things up. This is very interesting.
They really need their puck to have a good start, because he is the only way that they really have to start team fights, especially given that they've been forced into picking kind of Rubik and Crystal Maiden as their 2 supports. So do not have that initiation factor from the position 4, which you come to rely on. I think that's been the pattern for ages now in Dota, having sort of the twin initiators. But I feel like this is not going to end up being too much of a... Like, I don't think they're picking Terrorblade because it's a really good illusion Terrorblade game. I think they're picking Terrorblade because it's a really good, like, just physical damage source. I think the plan here is that they just want the Terrorblade to chunk towers and also tear the Tiny and Gyrocopter apart with the physical damage, and like even the reflection I think is going to be very annoying for these 2 heroes this game.
It's true. I mean, if there's one way to deal with a Tiny, even with all of his status resistance, it's the fact that he has literally no armor, and he's even going to have less than no armor because, of course, Vengeful Spirit is going to be there. They're going to have a lot to work with here in terms of Newbee, so it's a bit disconcerting. They actually gave Ori the Tiny, so they switched it up again. Young 11 will take the puck. They're kind of swapping things around. They're making decisions. For Newbee, they've kept it the same through and through. They're all on the same heroes they've been on since they picked them. So I don't know, man. Let's talk about this. What are you thinking? It is Game 5 after all. I want to get your opinion on who won the draft and who do you think is going to take the game between these 2 squads.
Oh, this one is really close. This draft, I think, especially because Newbee have switched it up so much, but they seemed so confident with the way that they drafted it. So I feel more confident as well as a result, but Vici have these comfort picks that they've been going to quite a bit in this event. I'm gonna say Newbee, but I think it's super close. the fact that this game, the fact that we're here in Game 5 is a testament to the fact that these two teams are pretty closely matched.
Yeah, it makes for a really good Dota. I will go the opposite direction. I will take Vici. I like the comfort picks. I like the Ori Tiny. I think it's very strong. I would be surprised to see him, even with all of this minus armor and physical damage, I still think that he will have a good game on this Tiny. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he gets roamed down and he dies instantly, and then that goes out the window. But Ori, after that Ember Spirit game where he kind of got crushed by SCCC, I think he wants to have a bigger impact here on this Tiny. He wants to have a bigger impact here, and he definitely can have that in this type of game. So we'll see.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how the lane goes against Terrorblade. You get the 10 armor Terrorblade versus the 0 armor Tiny.
It's going to depend on the meta, the first meta, I think. And they're going to give SCCC, by the way, both of these bounty runes. They'll have the block started by Faith.
I mean, this could be so bad. Or he might just get straight up First Blooded.
Yeah, that could be a huge problem.
He also just used his TP because he's TP blocking. So is Cocker going to come over, or are they just not going to even... Okay,
he has a really good wave, though.
He has a super good block.
The block is fantastic, which might make things easier. And they're already rotating the line elsewhere. The line Faith TP top lane, and they'll try to set something up here. Young 11 has a ward, but on the opposite side. He also has a sentry, just in case. Young 11 should have a pretty good time. Perhaps he will have another support to help him with, and that's Fenrir, who has the Frostbite. Obviously, want to get Arcane Aura as quickly as possible, but a lot harder to do that now as a CM with all the changes. But the bottom lane is where the action is going to be happening. There's the dual breath. Kaka will do some auto attack damage. The telekinesis will keep him out of the fray as Lanham lifts him up. Now that's down for 20 seconds. And guess what? Paparazzi's leveled up homing missile. Real shocking stuff there.
They do not have the nightmare set up this time around. But...
Dude, look at this. 7 last hits already. And SCCC, he popped the meta a while ago. So that's slightly disconcerting, I feel like.
I mean, Tiny's got to be one of the few heroes that can actually contest the Terrorblade for last hits, even when he's got the Metamorphosis pop.
God dang it. All right. It's all right.
It happens.
We'll get things righted, I'm sure. Young 11 actually might die here. Phase shift. He's got a loser. Oh, he's just dead, isn't he? Oh, good jaunt. Wow, that was amazing.
The absolute last second.
That was literally the last second jaunt into the salve on top of it. That was hype. Young 11 is actually a sick player.
Yeah, he's in pretty good Dota too.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
But he's going to get hexed again. Another wave of tear. This time the Earth Spike. I don't know if he can live this time. A phase shift not available. Maybe he gets it off. There it is. The jaunt through. Another last second jaunt from Young 11. This time he doesn't have a salve, though. Makes things a lot harder. But he will tango up for now.
Kaka takes the one bounty. It's a bounty rune battle. Lamb just denies the bounty. Not going to let anyone have it. And
nice TP.
Oh, that was... Alright, there's some stylish plays happening on the Vici side.
Ooh, Young 11. He is, like, living dangerously. Mugi is just all up in his grill, and he doesn't care. Meanwhile, mid lane, SCCC has done a very good job of catching back up to Ori after the first minute. Ori's still leading the way, but not by much. Only 1 CS now. The other lanes, it's very close. Very even so far. The only thing is the puck is having a bit of a rough time. Paparazzi in the meantime, right now, KP and Kaka are in his grill. He needs to be careful. He does have a salve. He will pop it. They have the level 2 on the CM, so Arcane Aura is now up, something to consider as well. But a lot of action in this early game. Only 1 kill, but still a lot of harass going back and forth between a lot of these heroes.
I'm a little bit surprised to see his insistence on the no rocket barrage build, even in this game. I guess he like level 1 rocket barrage is quite bad, and he might just hold the skill points until a little bit later on. So if there is an actual kill opportunity on the Riki, maybe he will level it. But for now, still just holding it and opting for the homing missile, which he can spam non-stop with Arcane Aura.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Yeah, the Arcane Aura is so good for the team.
They will finally get Young 11. It took them a while, but they finally get him. I caught that one. They used a lot of their mana. They start things off with an instant hex from Faith around the corner. Then they magic miss with a wave of terror and layered on top. And not much you can do as a puck, especially you don't have to see him there to break up all those abilities. So good effort, but he will fall. And that'll be a good kill going the way of Newbee.
This is pretty worrying to me because I feel like the puck needs to get... He needs to get his Blink Dagger because he's, like I said at the end of the draft, the only form of initiation for the team. So I worry that him having a slow start just means that Newbee take a lot of control in this game and are able to just start turning up to buildings and kind of slowly chipping them down. without too much of an opportunity for Vici to get a good jump. Oh, they want Kaka here.
They have the Frostbite. Oh, he's mega dead. He's really squishy. And the homing missile, they even secure for Paparazzi. How nice of them.
Wrap around from Faith on the mid lane.
And he's going to try to make something happen here. Ori is very far up. They have no meta for 48, but they're doing a lot of damage. Okay. They rotated into Hero too late. Kaka just respawning. And that's what they were waiting on, but they'll just take some mana and walk away. Faith is saying, see you later. Okay.
So is Tiny... Okay, Tiny not going for the same build this time around. Ori just getting the tree grab for the 1 point, a little bit of value. And is going to be matching at the Avalanche instead. So a little bit more AoE clear. Looks like he wants the combo potential against the somewhat squishy newbie heroes. And I think realizing that he needs to get quite involved in the early game, since the Gyrocop is not going to be able to do it without help.
Right. I like the moves Vici have made, though. Although that last movement from their supports was spotted by Kaka. Makes things a lot easier for SCCC to survive. CS-wise, they're about even in the mid lane, 10 denies to 7. Now they're going to have the Avalanche coming out at the perfect time to keep Ori up and alive. The Fable coming in, they need to be careful. Frostbite and Kaka's telekinesis back and dead. Can't even get off the Blink Strike. Faith will use the mana drain, won't really help him out in that regard. And good turn from Vici, really good turn.
Yep, supports are in just the right place, and really good reaction as well from Ori, getting the Avalanche out right as they went on him.
They will Shrine for Vici and perhaps make a move elsewhere. Young 11 will get some room top. He's up to 19 last hits to the 21 of the bench. He's actually doing a really good job catching back up. Still needs his boots. He's got a bottle and raindrops just to survive any burst damage coming out. And they're going to try to make a move top lane with Faith and Kaka, and they really want this kill. But again, they're not smoking for this. There is an observer ward that will spot Faith, and he probably knows that Kaka is somewhere nearby as well. So 11 is going to sit near at the tower. But bottom lane, Evan looking for KP. Frostbite up in 5. There's the homing missile to come up, and he will not be able to deny himself. In fact, Lanham will take the last hit. And Young 11 will stay safe, sitting around his tier 1 tower in this top lane.
I wonder if Lanham's going to go something other than Arcanes this game, given that he has the Crystal Maiden on his team. It's not a huge decision, but could be nice for the Rubik.
He sure is.
Yeah.
It's a great call. He literally did it as you were talking about it.
No,
Nice.
they want Young 11. There is a Dream Coil turnaround potential, and yeah, here comes the TP.
Kaka homing missiled up. They need more detection. I don't think Paparazzi has dust. Yeah, they didn't have any follow-up there. And KP is nearby too. They need to be careful how far they chase this. They're going to go on mid, though, instead. SCCC, he's got the meta, not going to be able to get it off in time. There's the Avatos combo and the Fade Bolt. That is a secured kill. Now the call down top lane. Dream Coil onto 3. Beautifully done. Kaka in a lot of trouble. The Waiting Rift will bring him down. KP's going to be next. They're going to get all 3, it looks like. Double kill for Young 11. Maybe he gets the triple. Mugi getting body blocked. He has got the swap. He's got the magic missile. Not going to be able to get it off. The Crystal Maiden will throw up the Crystal Nova to secure it. The Venge Illusion is going to do some damage to Fenrir. He actually might die. Oh my god, he was at 17 HP. On the other side, Young 11, he's got a phase shift. He has Waiting Rift. He's got wand charges too. He's really holding on to this. He's at 12 HP. He's still held on to the wand. Are you kidding, Young 11? Are you... That's... Wow.
He knows what he's doing, dude. He knows what he's doing.
I cannot believe he just did that. You know when you're just feeling so good that you can get away with anything?
Yep.
That's pretty much what's happening. Ah, jeez. He ran into the sentry. They dust him up. They get him down. And that's a 3K lead at 8 minutes for Vici Gaming. They are turning it on at the right moment here, Base Kip.
Yeah, and this Tiny is going to start putting in work pretty quickly. Going to pick up some bounties, make some strides towards his Blink Dagger, at which point he should be able to run around and get some nice pickoffs.
Oh, this is a dead KP, I'm pretty sure. Yep, there it is. The tree toss. Swap in. Lanham, magic missiled up. Now Mugi's getting chased down by Ori. 1,800 gold for Ori. He was sitting at like 1,400 a second ago. That will mean he is going to have a Blink Dagger in the very near future. And once that happens, Vici will continue on their road of dominance here.
Alright, they know that Mugi's in there. They know that Mugi's out of there.
They now have a sentry. Kaka has walked into like 3 sentries, and he's going to die again. Ah, it's rough. Man.
Alright, looking like Vici might just snowball this game. This is, we haven't seen a game like this necessarily from them in this series where they've just stomped Newbee. Oh.
They might find Paparazzi. Magic Missile, no Ice Path. He's going to try to call down maybe? Nah, he's just dead. Earth Spike. plenty of damage. They even rotate up as Triple C. So I think we'll see an attempt at a trade here from Newbee. They have very good push. They have meta. They'll be able to take this tier 1 down pretty rapidly. So that is good news for Newbee finding that kill. But Vici can't even get the bottom tower. They're still working on it. And now you're going to have to think about defending top instead.
That is the one thing that Newbee have going for them. They push way faster than Vici.
Ori's got Blink.
At all stages.
Ori is waiting. Wave of Terror, though, it's going to put the Blink on cooldown for now. The Illusion's going to come in, and you've got to back on this Newbee side. So that Wave of Terror, perfectly placed, but it means that the tier 1 tower will not fall. The homing missile will hit up on the S. Triple C still has his ultimate, by the way, but meta was popped, and it's going to be down for a moment. All right.
Pretty in-your-face TP from KP, just TPing from like over here all the way down to bottom. Forces Young 11 back. Both teams still holding on to all their tier 1s. Different build from Paparazzi this game as well. Going to be opting for the Yasha first.
He is also going the flat cannon, by the way. This is what we talked about in the last few games. It's very interesting, but he doesn't really need the Rocket Barrage. I mean, yeah, he could use more damage, but it's just better for him to farm and stay relevant in this game instead of just trying to get involved in all these fights. I like this a lot. Meanwhile, Young 11 might get caught by Kaka, who has a smoke screen. It is only level 1. He should be fine. They have another rotation coming bottom. I believe KP is dead here. Maybe not. Bottom. Ooh, they were looking for the line instead. Dust comes out. KP's going to get caught. Yeah, all right, he's dead. I thought he might have lived with the TP rotation, but they rotate and get the kill anyway. And they have to rotate out Kaka. He actually got dusted too, so it's a very good move for him to TP away. They'll try to go for mid instead. Fenrir will blow up the creep wave with a Crystal Nova, and they'll TP and rotate and defend it while they push bottom with Ori.
Yeah, their spam is really good. And Ori is also getting the last hits on all these kills, so making it well worth his while to kind of rotate around.
Give me that last hit. Nice. No. He's top of the net worth. Is working on shreds. No armor still, but he's not really been involved in a full 5-on-5 initiation where he's been caught out. So that lack of armor is not really coming into play. It's just more been jumping on people and killing them.
And the initiation from Newbee is severely lacking. I mean, I guess it's pretty much swap until they get a blink on the Lion, which is an eternity away, or the Yules on the Jakiro, which is also not. I don't know if I count that as like reliable initiation. So yeah, it's actually kind of tough for Newbee because they can't catch anybody to pick them off. They can't actually enable their push because the Vici spam is good. They don't push like Vici don't push nearly as quickly as Newbee do in terms of actually hitting buildings, but it turns out that it only takes a couple of their heroes to like hold on to one of their buildings, and it creates this opportunity to actually slowly plink down a tower.
Oh, he's going to need Sunder, and he's not going to be able to get it off due to Waiting Rift. Maybe? Oh my god, they waited too long. That is huge. He somehow got it off. I thought they had enough damage to bring him down, but somehow he survives even without a wand. And Young 11 now has to back up. Although Ori is coming in, I think they're probably going to get this kill anyway. Yeah, they will, but they could have gotten away without having to lose Lanham there, so.
Yeah, Lanham kind of messed up. He
Yeah.
should have used the telekinesis to break the coil, and that would have killed him.
Yeah. Paparazzi's got to get waved up at the top lane. Kaka's nearby. They're still holding on to this tier 1 in the meantime. They have another hero rotating in. That's Fenrir. Mugi's going to get called down on. There's the Frostbite, Elusive Orb. They'll even take down another. Faith is dead. Swap out. Finger comes in. That phase shift was actually insane. Young 11 is just playing out of his damn mind. He's going to find Mugi again with another Illusion Orb. There's the homing missile, the Waning Rift. I'm pretty sure he phase shifted that Finger of Death. That was pretty hype.
Yep. No damage. Well, only 144 damage on the Lion's fight recap. So, yeah, very nice very nice phase shift from Young 11. He's just on fire.
He really is. And all of those talking points we had for Young 11 throughout this like best of 5 and how good he was at Dota Pit. Yeah, he's definitely showing it now for sure.
Yep. And I think the comfort level is really showing for Vici as well. Ooh, nice hex.
Yeah, but still, Faith's dead anyway. Reflection will come out. There's the magic missile. Kaka is still dusted, I think. No, well, he's dead anyway. He's walking into his sentry. Kaka has had a bit of a rough game. In fact, both of these supports are getting crushed. KP and Mugi are going to be able to get out in time. Young 11 just missed him with the illusory orb. Almost found him, not quite. And Vici continue to dominate. They have a 6k lead, and they will now take a tier 1 tower top lane, or at least attempt to, as Ori comes in mid, gets the Avatos combination, the illusory orb, the waiting rift, and Young 11 will clean up what Ori starts and find KP yet again.
I mean, they're just slaughtering Newbee. Anytime that they show on the map for even a second, they just get jumped and killed off.
I still can't decide if this is just Tiny or if this is just Vici playing really well.
I think it's Newbee also playing a draft that they're maybe not 100% on. Oh my god! But also Ori's Tiny is pretty sick.
Yeah, I don't know. This hero seems pretty good. He's up to 7.3k net worth. He's gonna have an Echo Saber soon. Not that he needs any more damage. And well, Vici are gonna try to finish this game off slowly but surely. They have a 7k lead. Not that it's over or even close to over. You do have a Sunder. You have. By the way, I will say, Newbee, this is kind of supposed to be a fast-paced lineup, right? This is supposed to be taking down towers quickly. That's not really happening, is it?
No. Because of all the defensive spam that Vici have. I mean, the same reasons that Terrorblade didn't look so great as an illusion hero, because there's so much AoE clear, is the same reason that I think they're struggling to really find these pushes. But it's not so much that the spam is the issue. I think the problem is that they don't have any catch to... get these heroes off the map so that they can enable the pushes. If they could just start a fight in the right way, get a kill, I think they can quite easily push down some buildings, but they just can't ever find the Vici heroes. And this is another one of these games where it seems like Vici are just completely crushing them in terms of the ward game.
Yeah,
which is what also happened to them in the winner bracket final.
Ori is kind of baiting, maybe a little bit too hard, but he's going to get swapped out, and Rubik's going to give his life. That was a stolen swap that he still had, by the way. But they will take down Laudanum nonetheless. But on the other side, Kaka's going to give away a godlike spree to Ori at this point. Or not rather give away, but give him one. Dreamcoil onto 2. There's going to be a Waning Rift on top. Mugi and Faith forced to stay. There's the Frostbite coming in the Magic Missile as well. But the Homing Missile will clean up one. Fenrir might get dropped by Mugi. Nope. It's a double kill for Paparazzi. They're going to find more. As Triple C is now going to have to Sunder, but he gets Waning Rifted by Young 11. They're all 5 dead. This is one of the most disastrous fights and most disastrous games you're going to see at this caliber. They have a 10k lead at 16 minutes, and they just wiped Newbee from the face of the goddamn planet.
The individual plays for Vici were so good, that fight. Like the Rubik with the swap, Ori looking like he's getting caught out with the Metamorphosis popped, runs in just enough to throw the Terrorblade away, and keeps himself alive. Vici are... super feeling themselves in this game.
Yeah, they really are. Young 11 especially, but we've already talked about him, about Ori.
Yeah, that's I don't know if we need to reiterate on that.
There's not really any need. I also want to give credit to the supports, because like you mentioned, it's the wards, and it's not just the wards, it's the detection as well. It has been on point. Yeah. Kaka has not found literally anything in this game.
Yeah. Like the contrast between the Phoenix in the previous game and the Ricky in this game is just totally night and day.
Yep.
He's struggling to really have any impact.
I'll see it, KP. He's going hard again, by the way, because you know.
Yeah, it's just like just loading up on the status resistance.
How good is status resistance this game compared to the last one? Let's be honest.
I think much better this game for sure. Just the Lions disables. Faith is going to be so sad. He's going to hex his Tiny and he's going to pop up in no time flat.
I think if you're going to Captain's Draft 4 and Tiny is still the way that he is, he hasn't been changed, which there's a good chance he's not, you need to consider dealing with Ori's Tiny. I think this and Paparazzi's Gyrocopter are clearly some heroes they're very comfortable with. So.
Yeah, Tiny could be a big deal, right? Because there's also, there's going to be Limp Tiny at,
absolutely.
At Captain's Draft as well.
Yeah, it's going to be Battle of the Tinies. I kind of want to see them play each other, and then there's a Tiny in both drafts, because Limp Tiny is, I think, been considered to be the best Tiny in the game at many points in the past few years anyway. And Ori is making it look easy, but again, we'll wait and see. Honestly, things might change. The Newbee are going to go for almost a Hail Mary smoke, and they will scan and try to find something, and Vici aren't taking the bait. Maybe they'll find Ori, which would be a huge kill because, again, he is godlike. I think he's almost beyond godlike. He might even be beyond godlike. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he is. He is. Okay. It's been so nice to see Tiny be a hero in his own right. I think I really like that they took away the Ags.
No IO.
They gave Wisp the Ags tether talent, which would have been, I think, completely broken if they'd left the Tiny Ags in the game. But it's really cool to see Tiny stand on his own, because for the longest time it's been like OP with Wisp and then useless without. Dude. So this is a really nice, not completely useless. Some teams still pick it, but this is a really nice change.
Tiny fans around the world are rejoicing. Trent Pax is watching this game and he's practically crying. I can actually feel it from Canada, from good old Halifax. SCCC is going to get caught. There's the telekinesis. The combo is more than enough to bring him down. So one way you deal with Sunder is kill the guy before he can even get it off, and by God, did they really do that. In the meantime, they will have Faith TPing out. Young 11, the good old Dream Coil. Solo onto a Lion. Lion does have his finger, but he's not going to be able to get it off, obviously. It's the phase shift, and Ori will clean it up with an Avalanche to follow up as well.
We need the Tiny Wins, Trent Pack Smiles Twitch novelty account.
I have some good screenshots for that particular emote or novelty account.
Nice, nice.
But
Vici just, I mean, 28-4. This scoreline is getting a little bit ridiculous. When was the last kill that Newbee got?
I can tell you we have a net worth graph, and it was,
so it was
Moogie
killing Rubik.
Lanham. Yep, it was Rubik swapping himself in to save Ori.
Oh yeah.
That was it, and then they lost all 5 heroes for Newbee. So just to give you an indication of when that last kill happened and what happened with it. But it's a 14K lead at 20 minutes in, and despite that, the game's not over yet. In spite of that, I should say. And we'll try to take this tier 2 in the mid lane. Vici, again, I mean, they have a heart almost done for Tiny. Kaka has a haste rune. He's just trying to smoke screen and do whatever he can. AP's trying to split push. If you can actually get a tier 2 tower top lane, it makes things a little bit easier, but I don't think Vici will give it up. If you can take this tier 2 down, you can maybe force them to... Nah, he's fine.
Yeah, he's okay. He's in the fog. All good.
Yeah, I guess...
pretty nice. Good damage.
Maybe you take tier 2.
Situation, it's like a decent trade.
Yeah, agreed.
But there's a lot of vision over on their side of the map. Vici more than prepared to just go and find another one of these quick pickoffs. Gyrocopter, not messing around at all. Paparazzi was thinking about going back to the Mask of Madness. I think decided, okay, look, I don't really need it. I'll just get BKB, finish the SNY, tank up, become very difficult to burst down, and play from there. They've got more than enough damage, really, so I think just kind of building for survivability is fine.
Absolutely agreed. At some point, they're going to buy a gem also for Vici, one would assume, and then also there's a deity at Roche. I thought they might take this early. Now that they have a deity, I think they might just head into the pit. I don't see why not. Can you really fight into it if you're Newbee? It's not like you have the best Roche fighting lineup to begin with. But I don't know. Maybe Vici not that concerned. Yeah, they're in the pit already. Just kidding. And that bottle has DD in it, I think.
Oh, they stored it so that they could, yeah. Just so they get the full duration out here onto Roshan. Looking like, what, Ori might be taken.
Yeah, maybe.
The Aegis here. His streak is just so valuable. May as well protect it, I suppose. Also, it's not like Tiny is bad with an extra life, right? Avatos, relatively low cooldown, can definitely get multiple combos off in a fight. And he's going to have his heart in a second, so killing him once is going to be hard. Killing him twice, I don't know if Newbee have...
I don't think it's possible. If Vici plays smartly and if he doesn't get caught out, I don't think killing the Tiny 2 times is actually feasible.
The Terrorblade can like maybe do it if all of his illusions are alive and he's just wailing on him, but whether or not that's a realistic scenario is another matter.
I think it's more realistic now. He picked up a BKB for the Terrorblade. He won't get one shot now, I think.
He'll be alive, but I think the illusions just get cleared
it's
so
true.
quickly.
Yeah, it's true. So I think
Crystal Maiden build, the no ulti from Fenrir, just going for the more reliable abilities, I suppose.
I think they die so quickly he doesn't need the ultimate. That's part of the reason why I think he's doing this. I mean, I think he's not even really concerned.
Yeah.
I'm sure having ultimate's probably the right play, but
yeah, I don't think it's a huge deal. One of the interesting things that I'm seeing Ori do, and I think is really cool, and it shows that he's actually played quite a bit of Tiny on this patch and is pretty comfortable with it, is he's throwing the tree away when he has just a small number of charges left on the tree grab, because the cooldown doesn't reset until
you get the tree
actually
out
get
of the
rid of
hand.
it.
Yeah.
So he's who they got? Oh, they got the Ricky. He dead?
He might be dead. Yeah, he's dead. Will they chase? This could be a good jaunt. There's the Dream Coil on a 2. Almost got 3, actually. Faith will just go for the TP. They need a lift. There's the Avalanche. All right. Fade Bolt coming out. They've got the BKB fresh Triple C, but he needs to run pretty much instantly because Moogie's dead as well. Wave of Tear. And that is a problem. Paparazzi is still going to work. He's got his BKB ready. This should be high ground, especially because there's no BKB. Meta's going to be gone here in a moment. Looks like in about like 30 seconds or something.
TB popped everything, and they just kind of kited him. It's like, oh, TB's here. Just kill everybody around them and run away.
Exactly.
Why not?
They'll take the tier 2 first and foremost. Maybe they could still high ground in a moment. Venge does have buyback. She's up in 20. The death timers are so low that you might not even risk it if you're Vici, but you have Aegis, so what the hell is the point of not pushing high ground with 22k lead? I guess you don't want to give away Ori's spree, but what can kill him now, if not the Terror Blades meta?
Yeah, you could swap him into the fountain.
That is some wishful thinking, my friend. There's the jump in Waiting Rift. Yeah, I mean, but pretty much that's what they have to do. They're going to lose 2. KP, Faith, they both don't have buyback. Moogie's going to be next if he's not careful. They'll spell steal with Tear again. Tier 3 is getting shredded, of course, because Ori just does so much damage. Kaka has had one of the roughest games I've ever seen under Ricky, and the game ends in a pretty anticlimactic fashion. VG, they're going to be your Chinese qualifier winners. They will be moving on to Washington, D.C. to play the Captain's Draft 4.0 in just a few months. They absolutely dominate Newbee here in Game 5. A very close series up until this point, but an absolutely outstanding 5th game here, basically, for Vici.
A really long day of Dota for Newbee, and